This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hello everybody and welcome to show 192 of Aussie Mac Zone this week. We are again presented by athwebhosting.com.au. Domain registration, free setup, auto setup 24/7, instant activation, accepts PayPal as well as other cards, 250 scripts installed with one click, including WordPress, Joomla and many more. Uses the cPanel in the industry standard user-friendly feature-rich control panel, all from $5.95 per month when paid annually. And remember, they do domain registrations as well for you. It'll be a quick show tonight because there's only me and with my super boss here, young Nick, looking after me.
How are you, Michael?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Excellent. So, Apple names Denise Young-Smith as VP of Diversity and Inclusion. In a not-so-surprising move, Apple has appointed Denise Young-Smith as its first ever VP of Diversity and Inclusion, 9 to 5 Mac first reported. TechCrunch has since confirmed that Smith officially started in this role yesterday. Smith previously served as head of worldwide human resources at Apple for 3 years and has been involved in diversity programs at Apple for years. In her new role, Smith will report directly to Tim Cook regarding what happens to the Human Resources Department. Sources say the department will report to Apple SVP and CFO Luca Maestri. Apple's last head of diversity and inclusion, Jeffrey Sminoff, only held a director role. Given where Smith's role falls into the leadership structure, Smith will be able to have more of an impact on Apple's diversity and inclusion initiatives. Sources say that this is a significant upscaling of responsibility in comparison to the roles Sminoff held. Sources say Apple employees view this as a positive move for the company. So yes, it's interesting that diversity and inclusion is very big, very important these days. So, Apple and Nokia have come to an agreement in regards to a number of Nokia's patents, with many pertaining to healthcare and fitness products. Under a business collaboration agreement, Nokia will be providing certain network infrastructure product and services to Apple. As part of the agreement, Apple will make an upfront payment to the Finnish company, with ongoing payments to be made throughout the life of the agreements. No further details on the length of the agreement beyond multi-year or on the payments have been released, and no doubt these will show up in Nokia's quarterly reporting. And there's a bit more to this story coming up too. So that's been ongoing for a little while, with Nokia and Apple fighting over the money side of things, and so it's interesting that they have come to an agreement, and of course they're not telling us what it is. Now, New York Mag's Lauren Kern named first editor-in-chief of Apple News. Lauren Kern, executive editor at New York Magazine, has been named as the first editor-in-chief of Apple News, according to Politico. The hiring has since been confirmed by an Apple spokesperson. It's unclear what exactly the role will entail, but it suggests Apple has bigger ambitions of some kind of its news app on iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch. Apple's news is not a first-hand source of news, so Kern's role could be at least partially related to creation of other news sources. In February, Apple executive Eddie Q said the company wants to vet and make sure that the news providers in Apple's news are legitimate, and in an effort to cut down on clickbait. But I would have nearly thought they could have an algorithm for that. a lot of they say Apple News is not a first-hand source, but if I write something for Aussie Mac Zone on our Apple News channel, it can be some of my things, the reviews, for instance, are original. So I would have thought that made them a first-hand source, unless they're saying because it's a channel on the Apple News page. So interesting to see what she does and how she changes it. I hope they speed up some of their processes a little bit, because it took us, 4 months to get our Apple News channel, and I'm going through the process of trying to get an app registered on the App Store at the moment, and it's taking forever. It was already registered as a free app, but as soon as you want to try and put some a paid service on it, it appears to take weeks and weeks after you've already given them the paperwork. So there must be a lot of people going through the same process at the same time, I imagine. Apple's AirPods this week had a firmware update, so don't forget you do have to have your AirPods in the case, and the case has to be attached to power for the firmware update to go in. And now, finally, some HomeKit news, because I love HomeKit. So all of these I'm very excited about personally. So Belk and Wemo will be making a hub to make its current products compatible. So all its current products will be compatible when they actually go through this hub. So the hub's what's actually introducing, I imagine, the security part to it. So that's excellent. Now, IKEA also will soon have a hub and lights that are compatible and a lot cheaper than others, significantly cheaper from what I understand. The globes will be about $11 US each instead of about, I think ours are about 22, I think. So interesting to see how we go there. Now, further to the Nokia story, Apple will resume carrying Nokia digital health products, formerly Withings. Everyone knows them as the Withing brands in Apple retail. So as soon as the Apple and Nokia started having their argument, Apple removed the brand. So now Apple retail and online stores will be having the Nokia, what do they call them? Nokia digital health products. And also exploring future collaboration in digital health initiatives. So that's excellent. More to look forward to, because I actually use a Withings blood pressure monitor. Works great. And Apple updates Final Cut Pro and iMovie for Mac with bug fixes and performance improvements. And it actually has appeared to speed things up on my Mac just a little bit too with that, whatever they've done. So that's good. And we've also got Apple have confirmed that the worldwide developers conference keynote will be streamed. So you can watch it on your Mac, your iPad, your Apple TV. So it will be on the 6th of the 5th at 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or in the real world, like Australian Eastern Standard Time, 3 a.m. So I'll be there, and hopefully I'll be pumping some information out for you. Probably on our Apple News Aussie Mac Zone channel. So don't forget, we have been brought to you tonight with Aussie Tech Radio at aussietechradio.com, which is just a group of Australian-based podcasts that are well worth listening to. And our sister podcast, which are Aussie Tech Security Podcast, which is important to listen to these days with all the tech crap we've got to put up with. And the strange fellas over at the award-winning Aussie Tech Heads podcast. And don't forget, keep popping into our Apple News channel. Just if you go in, do a search for us and then favourite us, and then as soon as news pops up that I get time to write, you'll see it. So, as I said, very quick, simple show tonight because it's only me and Nick. So, yeah, thank you everyone for popping in. Short and sweet, and next week it'll be short and sweet as well. So let's see how we go. And then, of course, a couple of hours later, after our next show, will be the Worldwide Developers Conference. So here we go. Finally, some news. Thanks, everybody. Bye.